CEO outlook for business conditions hitting a 2-year low. That's according to a new survey. And Dom Chu is back at HQ with more on the results and what's worrying industry leaders. Dom.
All right, so Morgan, this is, like you said, from Chief Executive Group, and they put out a monthly survey polling hundreds of CEOs across various industries and size companies, and their numbers for the month of December are rather telling. Like you said, a 2-year low in confidence. Let's show you how that looks graphically speaking, because we have seen a steady decline, a trend lower in CEO confidence all the way since the beginning of this year. In fact, from the peak that we saw back in January, we are now off by about 16% in terms of overall CEO sentiment in conditions in the next 12 months. Now, as you pointed out, this level that we're seeing here in December was the lowest level since 2016. Now, what are the big concerns? A cooling economy, late cycle concerns, that's always going to be prevalent there. It has been for months now. Rising interest rates, so put that in the Fed category there. Also, trade and tariffs. China becomes the big part of that discussion, of course, and current levels of corporate debt. Interestingly enough, echoing some of the concerns that former Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen had about the corporate debt situation and the amount of it on corporate balance sheets. Now, take a look at this. If we are going to temper expectations for 2019, here are the places that we're talking about the most frequently in terms of CEO sentiment. We have less optimism on capital expenditures. Only around 53% of CEOs now say that they're going to spend more on CapEx next year. That's still better than half, so that's something to be proud of. Less optimism on the revenue increases. 74% of CEOs now say that they expect revenues to increase next year. That's pretty good, but still the lowest point of the year, both of these measures. Now, reasons to be a little bit more constructive. Still optimistic on rising profits. 71% of CEOs still say that they expect profits to increase next year. And hiring, this is important, John, guys, because we still have around 57% of CEOs saying that they are going to hire more people next year than they did this year. That's actually higher than it was just last month. So if you're looking for some of these signs, this is, of course, soft data, John, sentiment indicator, but still something when the chief executives of America are feeling the least optimistic they have all year, ever since going all the way back to the eve of the 2016 presidential election.